Please enjoy the following Maximum Pew Pew recording outtake.
How y'all liking Mummy's Mask?
It's been really, really entertaining, but that entertainment has largely been because the players are so well integrated into the story for various reasons. But I've done a little bit of effort, and the whole premise of my running it is I heart the Brandon Fraser mummy movies. And so we're using
really good.
we're using hero points.
Okay.
And I am basically going, okay, there are not going to be any dungeons where you go in and like, oh, here are 3 orcs.
Right.
No, you're going to run into the boss, and there are going to be 4 encounters worth of waves of orcs coming from the different rooms. So, and so I let them spend hero points almost like fate points. They are just like the very first adventure. His bard is going, I don't even know Cure Light, but I'm going to spend a hero point and pray to Asmodeus so I can get it. to keep.
Asmodeus has kept me alive so many times. Like I'm stuck in a room away from everyone. Like, okay, I really don't want to do this, but
yeah, you're
Asmodeus,
like King of Devils, you know.
Right.
Can you make me invisible? And it works. I'm like, oh god.
So there's like this one scene where in the second book where there's this fracture going on between the two the highest ranking officials in the Church of Pharasma in Wadi, and basically between the High Priestess, which is we need to take care of the community type, and the head Inquisitor, who is kind of in a different power structure, who is like, we need to summon these outsiders who won't care who they kill to go kill the thing responsible for this. And one of the characters in our group is basically a war priest is
Cleric and war priest.
is a cleric, a heretic cleric of Pharasma, who has like the sun domain to help her kill undead. Who is like, both of you are not good enough, and just sticking her face in there with all the diplomacy of a hammer, and so and it's just terribly entertaining.
Sometimes
we have a ranger who is specialized in hunting undead, who doesn't realize that very shortly she's going to be facing the shambling remains of her husband. That was left for dead by the scorched hand.
When we did ours,
so
the very first skill check of the AP broke the party. Because no one had bought a rope.
Oh my god!
it was.
I know.
Yeah. So no one had bought a rope. So it broke the party, and they were like, "We can't.
We can't do this."
You know what? We go to Varesia. Like, fuck this place. So it was like, eventually, it was just kind of like, okay, we're gonna finagle some shit. You eventually get down into this tune.
So Jared here is the one who's nominally in charge of the adventuring party, and like the first scene. They were like getting all into the leaderboards that were posted in the Tooth of Hookah. And like there was one time where they had to like stop and rest for the night, and it cost them like 3 spots in the leaderboards.
He's getting Corinne upset.
Yeah, right.
Why am I being ranked, and why am I not at the top?
So they made the book 4, and then you enter a dungeon. And if you go left, it's very nice series of scaling adventures that you eventually hit a level somewhere in there, and then have a nice little progression to a boss fight. If you go right, you walk straight up into that last progression into a boss fight.
Oh man! It goes from cakewalk to horror movie.
It does. I don't know what book you're in.
We're halfway through book 2.
Okay.
So we're rotating through multiple APs, so we're slow.
Okay. I'm not going to ruin too much for you, but I will say that if you go right in a certain dungeon in book 4, expect to run into a room that have 8... What are they? Bodak in it.
I don't know. It was.
Yes, that have 8
It was
Bodak.
just that.
That's
That was
the
where we
first
died.
encounter in that string
Bodak.
of encounters.
Bodaks
just
are
where we
amazing.
That was just. That was just where we
Like,
died.
they walked in and it was all like, you see these corpses, and they were like, what is this stuff? And they were like, is this? And it was all like, ugh, and then like they all just kind of popped up.
We
and were
rolled
like,
initiative,
We're evil.
We
And I was
rolled
like,
initiative. Our cleric got disintegrated, and that was it.
See, that kind of sounds like the kind of game I'm running anyways. I might just go, boring.
That could happen in our game, but the alternative is someone drops that hero point to like.
Yeah, somebody's going to like, okay, hero point, I'm going to empower my smite. You know.
I don't think we got to that point. Like they
Right.
didn't get a
Okay.
turn. It was just